Let me get the question very well. The larger, what larger are you talking about in particular? Okay, you are talking about when we are working on the website that is very big, abi? Okay. So now, what's the problem there now? The HTML file or CSS? You want to? No, no. I want to get the question clearly. You are looking for a shortcut. That's what I can first say now. Hmm? You see, every website you see today, do you get it now? Everything is thoroughly well, thoroughly planned. Like for example now, if you are creating a website, that's why that people that design the UI UX, when you create the first page like this, that this is your what, your index page here now. And this index page, you have to specify every section you want the information to appear, no matter how small it is. If you remember when we talk about the layout, you have to specify the wall, the box to represent every information. It depends on the size of information you want to put on your web page. It depends on the on the box to draw. Creating that box, that's why we are saying we are using table in the last time. And in the next class again, we are going to also see how to use what is CSS. Are you with me now? So every section of your web page need to be properly planned like this, one by one like this. Do you get it now? Now, after you have done this, do you get it now? The next thing that is still very important for the next thing that's still very important is that to now apply your CSS. Do you get it now? You have to write a CSS for every element. Do you get it now? Because you have to consider. So once you are writing your CSS, that's why we have what we call external CSS. Do you get it now? So if you have this page again and the same thing on the next page here again, there are some pages that are going to have a similar features. Do you get it now? So if you have another page that have this particular three column here and this three column here and this three column here now, this is another page again. This is the first page. So this three column you have here now, the three column here can be can be put in a border like this. You give it a name. The same three column is also repeat here again. So whatever CSS you want to apply to this, once you apply your CSS to this column, the same CSS will apply to this again instantly. If there are many pages you have, everything will change automatically. So for every CSS you want to write, you have to attach to a particular one. You have to apply to a column and you keep repeating it one after the other like that. But another thing now is that if you think you can even though use your bootstrap again, bootstrap doesn't change everything on a website. That's just the truth. You still have to write your CSS code for every element. But what you need to do now is you don't write a CSS in internal CSS, then go to apply to EP. You write CSS for the external CSS. You get it now? And that is what the most important here now. Okay? So that's it. So back to the the contact us page now. Sorry, the checkout page here now. So okay, the checkout page, let me preview it and see. Okay, my checkout page now, which already there's some CSS already written for all this again now, simply because I want you to affect each of these. So I can return backward to here again and preview my checkout here now. So if you notice that I just applied this, but all the CSS are applied to the to the form. Everything changed here now because all this particular element that is on the checkout page here, do you get it now? I already reference them in the CSS here because here in the CSS for the checkout here, I'm using something like that. Say input type element. Do you get it now? I'm using input type element. So because the input element I use here, the same HTML selector which I use for the CSS type, the same HTML selector is also found on the checkout page here now. Because we have input type, we have label in the checkout. Because we have label in the checkout and already applied the CSS to the label in the contact us. So that CSS applied to label in the contact us, the label still appear in the checkout. That's why the same rules apply to what? To all the label here now. Are you getting it now? That is it. But the only thing now is there are some elements that the same CSS still apply to, which I don't want it to what? To affect. Like this particular mode of delivery now. Here now you can now write another word. You can change the CSS rule for the mode of delivery because this is a radio word button. Because there's no CSS for already a radio button in the previous in the contact us again now. And again, now for this particular one we have here, you can see the product set to CSS also apply it. So the other page CSS is not applicable to, I can apply it. Even though for this particular this checkout page, do you get it now? The CSS that apply to here, I have to now copy and reapply to this one again here too. So let me return back to what? To the form for the checkout first here now, which is the radio button here. Where is the radio button? Okay, on the second one here, mode of delivery now. So I have to type input type should be what? Radio here now. So this one for the radio button. Return back here and say okay, it's going to be under this CSS here now. Okay, so input type radio. So right here now, input type radio. Oh, so no, sorry. Input type, open the square bracket and the square bracket here. Okay, so input type equal radio, and now apply the CSS rule. Okay, so the width is what I need to set for this one again now. So I have to reduce the width and the height. So here now, so the height, let me reduce the width here and define the height. What's that? So save this. So mode of delivery, input type radio, input type radio. Okay, so the height now become 25. Okay, why this is not changing? Checkout page. This is where's the pi? Okay, style CSS. Input type radio and input type radio. Okay, space. Sorry, it is that space. Okay, that's reduced a little bit. 15. Okay, 15. Everything should be on a straight line though. And system is here applying the width. There's a default width for this. So the width now, column 1, let me say 50 pixel. Okay, 50 pixel. Okay, good. That is it now. So this is the delivery mode, the CSS to style this one too. But for this particular one, the main one header here, so I'll quickly copy this. We have few seconds here now. So copy the header. Okay, so now I need to apply this setting to this header section here now and the checkout work page. So I copy this from the header here and return back to work or to the cart checkout. So this cover the header section and we end right here. So I save it again and that's done. And the next one is the checkout page section here. What do we call that? Is CSS client banner, because this is a class CSS. So client banner, my banner section here now referred to as well as a client banner. Okay, and that is it. So this will now complete the section for work for the checkout work page. You cover the section for work for the checkout work page here now. So the next thing just to confirm page. So that is where we are going to stop for now. But the next class again, we are going to make sure we apply the same CSS rule to all the other pages we have. And the pages are start from cow page, about us page, and also when we return to home page again, every detail page here, we need to apply the same rule to it. So these are the pages we are going to apply the mini CSS to. Then we can now start with what? With the layout again for what? For the CSS before we round it up. So we'll stop from here for now because of time. So next class will be on Thursday. I'll send the video to everybody. Thursday is going to be in the evening. Let me say around 5. Yeah, 5 and 6 on Thursday. Yeah. Okay. Okay. A site to go through, Abby? Yes, that will be under the responsive CSS now on Bootstrap. When we get to the Vue.js, we are going to discuss that. Are you with me now? That is when we are applying the Bootstrap to a site. Do you get it? Those ones are going to discuss. Exactly, Bootstrap is involved. Do you get now? Because Bootstrap is already written CSS like the CSS libraries. But what we are doing now, well, you have to know how to write your own CSS. Even though when you are still using the CSS library, you must be able to know those how they wrote those particular CSS code in the CSS in the Bootstrap library. You get now. What we are doing here to use a custom CSS to create your own site for every good developer. Because sometimes you might not need to use a CSS, you might need to create your own. Even though some CSS will come, some CSS now, when you see, even though when you see some CSS, You might not be able to use it if you don't know how to write your own CSS. That's just the truth about this. Because all this CSS, you must understand the CSS rules, CSS code, selector, class selector, and because in most of your Bootstrap, they use class selector a lot. Do you get it now? So that is why you have to understand it. Like for example now, the first project I'm giving to you guys now, I want you to write your own CSS code for you. The way I'm writing it is just to prepare you guys for what? For what is going to be what? Coming next. Because the second project, you are going to use what? Bootstrap library for it. Do you get now? There will be a style with the what? With the Bootstrap CSS which you are going to use. But if you don't understand all these particular CSS we have here, the truth is that what you might not even understand how to work the Bootstrap CSS. So that's one of the challenge. Let us be patient because we are rounding up this particular one by next week again. If possible, we complete the layout section here because the next session we are going to talk about the layout. You get now. This layout show how we can be able to do to create our own website layout by using div. The website we are working with here now is what? Is table, the layout. But not all the site use table for the layout. Are you getting it now? So most of the site use div for layout. So the next class, you go to the what? How to use div for what? For the layout. So once we're able to understand that one, to now what? Implement it in what? In the Bootstrap, it's not going to be difficult. Okay? So and I will send the two topic. I'll send topic to you and Ayomide to start working on to create something like this site which we are working on here today now. Okay, so thank you so much. You start working on, when I give you the project, you will see where the project reach. Everything is part of what you must know how to do it. Because first, if you don't work on my project the way I give to you, there's nothing I can promise about that because everything I'm going to give you going to cover everything we have to discuss as a web developer. Do you get it now? Okay, sir. Yeah.